there, I'm Jackie, and I am going to tell you about some of the best places to watch sunset in Los Angeles and give you an insider's top picks. I've lived in Los Angeles now for 8 years. I love being outside and I love how beautiful the city is, and I love chasing sunsets. So, spoiler, there's really not a bad place to see sunset in Los Angeles, but there's definitely some places that are better than others. And one major tip is typically, not always, but typically the higher you can be, the better. One spot that a lot of people like to go to for sunset is rooftop bars and restaurants. And we've got plenty of beautiful ones here in LA. In downtown, one of the top spots to see sunset is Perch, definitely one of my favorite spots. We've also got Broken Shaker, Ace Hotel downtown, but there's a lot. If downtown rooftop bars are your thing, you could just Google that and check it out. We have a ton, but Perch is personally one of my top picks. In West Hollywood, there's EP and LP. If you go down to Hollywood, Mama's Shelter or the Highlight Room are great spots for sunset. So one of my favorite top picks, the place I take almost everyone when they're in town, is in Venice. And it's the rooftop at Hotel Erwin. It's one of the only places on the beach, I think it's the only place on the beach that's open to the public where you're gonna get a 360 view on the coast, and you're gonna get to see a gorgeous sunset, but you're also just gonna have views for days. So highly recommend that. Again, I take anyone visiting from out of town, and then it's a nice excuse for me to head out to Venice and see that gorgeous sunset there. Parks, people don't realize how many great parks we have in Los Angeles. I personally live really close to a very special one called Barnsdall Park. And it's actually a Frank Lloyd Wright home is on the park. It's basically an arts park. And so you can see a gorgeous Frank Lloyd Wright architecture up there. But it's this little hill in the middle of Hollywood. Many people walk by and don't even realize it's up there. But it's a perfect spot to picnic, and you can see the Hollywood sign, you can see the observatory, and then you got a great west-facing view for sunset. And anytime you're up there, there's always going to be some other fun folks having picnics up there, but it never gets too crowded. Plenty of free and easy parking. So in Los Angeles, that's not always the case. So definitely that's a hidden gem. Kenneth Hahn Park, that is the park. If you ever see like gorgeous photos of downtown Los Angeles with like the mountains in the background, sometimes with the snow-capped mountains in the background, those are all taken from Kenneth Hahn Park, and it is beautiful up at the top there. Another fun sort of insider spot I would recommend is the Annenberg Community Pool in Santa Monica. In the summers, they host adults-only sunset swims a few times, I think like once a month on Fridays. And it is just so stunning to be in a heated pool, but also to see the sunset from the pool and with the ocean in the background. So definitely one of the best places to watch sunset in Los Angeles if you end up getting to the sunset swim. Many people don't realize how many great hikes we have in Los Angeles. So a hike is a great place to watch sunset. Be careful, because obviously if you're watching it at night, then it gets dark. So just make sure it's a place you feel comfortable going, that you have a headlamp. Going during a full moon is going to give you a little bit of light after the sun sets to help you get you back to your car wherever you parked. One of my top picks, I live pretty close to it, so I'm a little bit biased, is hiking up to Mount Hollywood. So that's going up to the observatory, but then going up and above. So Mount Hollywood kind of it looms above the observatory. So then you can kind of, so you'll see the Hollywood sign, you'll see the observatory, but you get to kind of look down on the observatory and look down at the city and all the lights. It's really gorgeous up there. Another top pick is Sandstone Peak. So that's going to be the highest peak in the Santa Monica Mountains. That's one you're going to want to be a little bit more careful with in terms of nighttime hiking. Mount Hollywood, you're gonna probably be okay. A lot of people are up there because they're at the observatory doing nighttime activities there. So I hike up there alone. I feel totally safe doing it, maybe because I know the trails and do it regularly. Again, Mount Hollywood is one I always take people who are out of town. Often that's like the number one hike I do with them. But Sandstone Peak, you're going to be a little bit more cautious. I've been up there and I've seen some wildlife up there. I believe we saw a cougar up there, but it was fine. It wasn't really interested in us. Was mostly running away. Another great hike, if you're not really into like sweating it out, you just want to do sort of more of a nature walk, is Charmlee. So that's also out, that's going to be out in Malibu. And this is a spot that's going to have beautiful flowers in the springtime. This year with all the rains, we're going to have so many beautiful black flowers blooming, and you can just get gorgeous views over the water, but you don't have to really, it's not a hard hike. Probably could bring grandma along with you if you wanted to, or someone who was maybe not as game to do a more rigorous hike. Anywhere along the beach is going to be a beautiful place to see sunset. Watching the sunset over the ocean is pure magic. I'm a little partial to Malibu. I just think Malibu is pure magic, and it's just a really, really special place. Though Santa Monica, Venice, any place in between, you're gonna get a beautiful sunset over the water. Some of my top picks for Malibu. So El Matador is probably one of the most famous beach spots for sunset. But every time I've been there, whether it's a weekend or a Tuesday late afternoon into the night for sunset, it's packed. You're gonna see a million engagement shoots. You're gonna see, I've seen people getting married. You see the pregnancy shoots. I mean, it's packed. You're also gonna see influencers. I mean, it is like being at a theme park. It is a beautiful beach. It is a gorgeous beach for sunset, but it will not be tranquil at all. It's going to be madness. So just prep yourself for that. My favorite alternative to that is Point Dume. So not too far away, but you have the option to just hang out at the beach. There's this little, like, calling it a hike is an exaggeration, but there's a hill you can kind of climb up. And then you're gonna get these stunning views all around. Around March, you're gonna see a bunch of yellow flowers blooming up there that are gorgeous, and there's this just really beautiful cliff there. So this one, the only thing you might run into probably is sometimes film or TV shoots there. So that does happen from time to time, and it is fun to kind of go, oh, I see Point Dume on TV or in a movie. I love this spot so much, so that's where I did my engagement shoot. Some tips, always make sure you know what time sunset's going to be. Definitely want to make sure you're checking in that. Your weather app should tell you. You can also Google it. Arrive early for various reasons, because it might be busy. You might need to get a parking spot. Parking can sometimes be an issue. Also, you don't know exactly, it might say sunsets at 7, but if you're somewhere further down and it's going to be behind a mountain, you kind of want to be there a little early so you can see it go down. So, and if you're hiking, I'd say you want to get to summit. If you're sort of mapping that out, you're doing a bigger hike, aiming about getting there about 20 minutes, get to summit about 20 minutes before sunset is kind of probably perfect, because you're going to be at a high peak. Watch out for parking restrictions. That's a big one. A lot of parks and other places, parking lots will shut down and lock the gate at sunset. Most of them are cool and probably realize you're watching sunset on the hike, and they'll give you an extra 30 minutes or so to get back to your car. But sometimes there's also options just to park right outside the gate. Look into it, but be cautious. These are some of my top picks for the best places to watch sunset in LA. What did I miss? What are your favorites? Please share them in the comments below, and happy sunset chasing. Thanks, everyone.